When I was helping my fiancée try on wedding dresses, her sister suddenly showed up wanting to see me. You're getting hitched right after coming back home. Shouldn't I at least say hi to my brother-in-law? The moment she pulled open the dressing room curtain, standing before me was the girl who, after getting a boyfriend, said we should just be strangers, despite once having been so close. Her eyes were full of disbelief. After a moment, she spoke, her voice hoarse and choked. Don't get married, Alex. Not unless the bride is me. When Wendy appeared, my heart skipped a beat. Her pupils shrank too. It wasn't until Violet patted her back that she regained her composure. Alex is the designer here, Violet introduced. He did a good job on this dress. Huh? So what are you waiting for? Call him brother-in-law. For a long moment, Wendy said nothing. As Violet turned to get her a bridesmaid's dress, Wendy suddenly stepped forward, pulling the curtain closed. You look handsome. Her breath softly tickled my ear as she held my hand tightly, making the veins stand out. I pulled away forcefully. Are you nuts? She gave a small laugh and looked me up and down, saying softly, quiet down. Or should I tell Violet her sister had a fling with her boyfriend? I was stunned but quickly got over it. Ms. Wendy, weren't you the one who insisted we keep it casual? Didn't you say you didn't want your boyfriend misunderstanding things and that we'd just be strangers from now on? But now she was serious, saying, don't get married, Alex. Not unless the bride is me. Her sincere eyes didn't move me, but when she pulled her collar down, I was taken aback to see a gardenia tattooed on her chest. Before racing on the mountain road, I'd inexplicably gotten a gardenia tattoo myself. I thought if I got into an accident, you'd be the only one to come looking for me, so I didn't want you not to find me. Impatiently, I asked, what exactly are you trying to say? She replied earnestly, you matter to me, Alex. I found her seriousness laughable. You're talking about that time you risked your life with Billy on that mountain road, right? I emphasized her boyfriend's name mockingly. Wendy fell silent. You're just not used to me not being around, watching your every move. And you've always competed with your sister, trying to take what's hers. Haven't you? Wendy, you have a boyfriend, and I'm getting married. I don't want your sister misunderstanding. Let's just stick to being strangers. When I stepped out of the fitting room, Wendy followed closely behind. Violet, sitting on the sofa, looked up with a slight smile. Alex and I were just catching up. Wendy's tone was intimate, but Violet kept her boundaries clear. Didn't you two go to the same university in the same year? Were you close before? Violet asked out of curiosity. I quickly shook my head. Not really. Very, Wendy answered, different from me. Her challenging look was all too familiar. Seems like Alex forgot me so quickly? Violet, curious about our relationship, asked again. Just friends, I replied. Friends? Wendy's tone was teasing. I thought we were more than just friends. With that, Violet gently brushed the dust off my shoulder, seamlessly wrapping her arm around mine. The gesture was soft yet possessive. Don't use your tricks on your brother-in-law. Weren't you eager to be a bridesmaid? Go try on your dress. Wendy smirked. She publicly removed her jacket, revealing the off-the-shoulder top with her gardenia tattoo. Now that I know Alex is the groom, being a bridesmaid feels inappropriate. Her continuous provocations made my palms sweat. While we exchanged glances, Violet announced she'd take the car from the parking lot to pick us up for dinner. I didn't expect Wendy to insist on coming along too. Seeing that Violet didn't dare question why we came out of the same fitting room, Wendy hit a nerve. I was scared she'd blurt out our past entanglements to Violet. In a softer tone, I said, my mom doesn't have much time left. I have to get married, then marry me. Back then, your mom entrusted you to me anyway. Aren't you using Violet as my substitute because you want me to come back to you? I frowned a little. Do you want to mess up again? Stop it, Wendy. A hint of an unclear emotion flickered in her eyes. Maybe guilt. Yet, she spoke authoritatively. I refuse. And if I insisted on ruining your wedding with Violet, would you marry me then? On the way there, Wendy deliberately recounted our 7 years together in front of Violet. She intentionally showed how important she was to me. We first met at the freshman welcome party, playing drinking games. I volunteered to drink for her, getting completely wasted. I was so sorry for her that I just cried. "Don't go." She gently wiped my tears, making me her only close friend. She was in charge of enjoying life. I was responsible for handling all her school affairs, including her boyfriends from different years. Until graduation was near, I stayed up several nights in a row working on her designs, falling ill from exhaustion. To everyone's surprise, she, who never settled down, accompanied me to the hospital. After we started working, my mom was diagnosed with cancer. Apart from work and hospital visits, I still made time at night to handle her bar's affairs, apologizing profusely as necessary. "You should move into my apartment. I don't go there often anyway. That old place of yours is too far, taking 4 hours just to get to the bar." And so it went. I saved on rent for 2 years by picking up a drunk Wendy from her bar, dealing with 1 or 2 tangled romances for her each month. More enduring than a romantic relationship, I chose to stay by Wendy's side in this way. But that day, as usual, after bringing her back to the apartment, cooking her sobering soup, and helping her remove shoes and clothes, she kissed me. At first, I simply replaced a photo in her frame with mine, hoping in vain to have her for Betrayal. The entire night, Wendy kept torturing me, while calling out different men's names. In the morning, I took my shirt, missing a few buttons, back to my room, pretending nothing happened. When I woke up, there were some pills at the door, a mutual understanding to stay silent. But she started staying at the apartment more, coming home earlier each day. She'd wait for me to get back from work, hug me from behind while I cooked in the kitchen. After dinner, she'd snuggle with me watching movies, giving soft kisses, asking, "Your place or mine?" For a year, it felt like a relationship, though just at home. But she stopped seeing other people. I turned into the guy she liked, hoping if she liked more things about me, we'd stay together forever. And as she began picking me up from work, my hopes grew. I hoped to become her first real boyfriend. But that morning, after a night of passion, she hugged me and said, "Your boss? Billy? I like him. Alex, can you help me get with him?" Turns out, she never thought about making our relationship public. Instead, she was secretly creating opportunities to meet the person she liked, over and over. I gripped the blanket tightly, hoping to hide my shame. Still, I dared to hope. He's married. Billy is the son of the owner of the design company I work for. He got married during college to a woman 12 years older, despite his family's objections. The only thing missing from their marriage was a wedding ceremony. As soon as he became my boss, he constantly sent me on errands and slapped his name on my design drafts like it was nothing. Total rich brat. I made it clear to Wendy I couldn't stand him. But now she was telling me, this is the first time I really like someone. And I heard he's going through a divorce. Help me out, Alex. You're my best friend. And it's my first time pursuing someone. She asked me over and over. I simply scheduled the meetup at Wendy's bar. Then she texted me not to come home that night. She never brought guys back to her place. Next day, I dragged myself, with dark circles under my eyes, to buy breakfast outside the office. I look back and see Wendy riding a motorcycle with Billy to work. Never thought she'd change for someone she liked. She kissed Billy with longing, her red ears like a girl in her first love. "Alex," she called out to me. I awkwardly greeted Billy, too. Couldn't ignore the red mark on his neck. "Go home tonight, we'll have dinner with Billy," she said. I was about to say no, but Billy gave me the day off with pay. Weird, right? Got home, understood it all at first glance. My room was a total mess. Clothes and stuff everywhere. Even my sewing designs were shredded. Bed sheets crumpled, mattress sunken. Wendy speaks, overflowing with joy. "You know, Billy's a young master. Being moody just means he cares about me. You should move out today. He was upset last night. Took me ages to calm him." She had already arranged everything for me overnight. A new place, new furniture, new clothes, all my usual brands. Just needed me to pack up. Almost felt like she loved me. If she hadn't said, "Consider it compensation, since I slept for free." Almost bit my tongue. After all, I was the cheapest lover she'd ever had. No one knew her rates better than me. Best friends, right? Her eyes serious when she said it. I nodded, smiling. Why pretend to care about pride? Mom's still in that $20,000 a day hospital bed. Plus, I've always been a sucker. Can't handle not seeing this face anymore. At dinner, there were lots of Wendy's friends there. Billy in a dark suit, sunny smile, perfect match next to Wendy. Billy, my boyfriend, she said, holding his hand tightly, showing love I've never seen before. Everyone knew a bit about Billy's situation, but still cheered her on, her first publicly acknowledged boyfriend. First love, Wendy's first love. Billy laughed, casting a glance my way. What about all those other guys before me? The jealousy and territorial vibes were obvious. Billy, waiting for your divorce is punishment enough for my past foolishness, Wendy declared, owning her side chick status, and everyone accepted this big brother. But when she sat next to me, Billy's face fell. Alex changed seats like in the office as his subordinate. Wendy, lost in Billy's attentions, didn't even notice my discomfort. She ordered as usual, but this time checked with Billy. She noted the menu. You still like sweet stuff like honey-glazed pineapple, Wendy? Or is it someone else's favorite? She laughed, looking around. Wendy paused, ordered wrong. Billy's face darkened, but he let it go. The dish stayed untouched throughout dinner. Drinks flowed, nearly time to leave. Billy suddenly toasted to me, if it weren't for Alex, Wendy and I wouldn't be together. I should thank you. Thought she'd be your girlfriend with all the picking up and dropping off at work. At that, a slightly tipsy friend chimed in. We thought Wendy was ready to announce marriage to Alex after laying low for a year, a joke everyone awkwardly laughed off. Wendy chuckled softly, raising her glass with Billy to me. Kidding, if Alex and I liked each other, would he help me chase Billy? Billy admires Alex's designs, so he's going to design my husband's suit. Chest tight with pain, but I managed to smile. Yeah, don't let idle talk drive away my cash cow, just working for Miss Wendy and Mr. Billy. I sat back. My choice of honey-glazed pineapple was placed in front, the dish that Wendy ordered. Designing Billy's suit became my main gig. Constant feedback and revisions, tension evident in his expression. Then one evening, a frantic Billy found me. Help! Wendy's in trouble. Panicked, I followed him to the underground parking garage, sounds of motorcycle tires screeching. Surrounded by bikers, Wendy was bleeding and defiant. The leader struck her hard, Billy's wife. Call the cops. Do you really want the whole world to know I cheated? Is Wendy the other woman? My wife just lost it 'cause she's jealous. As much as Wendy acts all carefree, she's still a spoiled little rich girl who'd get beaten up trying to pick a fight with a team leader. Before the second hit, I charged in, shielding her. That blow landed on my back. I'm Wendy's boyfriend. Is there some misunderstanding here? Misunderstanding? Your girlfriend and my husband are messing around. Is it wrong for me to teach the other woman a lesson? Losing consciousness, I couldn't stop trembling. There's nothing like that. Wendy and I have been together for over a year and are planning to marry. If this keeps up, I'm reporting you for assault. They hesitated for a moment. Then they laughed at me for being the dumbest guy to call himself her boyfriend. When Wendy finally spoke, her voice dripped with mockery, like she'd heard the funniest joke ever. Alex, just 'cause we've slept together a little longer, you thought we were a couple? You're just the best guy I've ever had in bed. It's kind of funny thinking back. But you don't have a say. Scram. Her words shattered my pride in an instant. How could she love Billy so much she's willing to get beat up for him? Just as long as you don't touch Billy, as long as you divorce Billy? She said that while staring determinately at a cowardly Billy hiding in the corner. I dragged myself away, watching Wendy get beaten without a word. I still called the cops. After the police station and then the hospital, I finally got home in the dead of night. In the hallway, I saw a shadow. Wendy was standing there, head down, hands in pockets. She must have come straight from the underground parking lot. I ignored her, walked right in and shut the door. Before it closed, I noticed her wipe away blood from her mouth, her arm covered in bruises. Blurted out, "Serves you right." She laughed, kinda relieved. "You still care?" Wendy's always getting into fights. It's not my first time getting hurt 'cause of her. Everyone else sees her as a troublemaker. But Alex, only you really worry about me. When she started to get serious, I didn't know what to make of it. I pressed the cotton swab a bit too hard while cleaning her wounds. For the last time, I won't get involved with your business anymore. She knew I'd almost begged my way to the truth from my clients. Violet has congenital anemia. I was born to be a blood bag for her. That was the first time she talked about her sister. Our parents always fussed over her. Violet was the perfect child everyone adored. Teachers, friends, even the housekeeper. I tried, but I couldn't compete with Violet's perfection. So from a young age, Wendy decided she'd get attention by being the rebellious rich girl. At 18, she got stabbed stopping a thief. Her parents didn't even bother to visit her. They just told her to stop getting hurt for her sister's sake. Then they left the country with her sister. When I heard her say she almost wished Violet would die so she wouldn't go through that pain anymore, I broke down and cried. The first person I fell for was gone. But my first love, Wendy, is still here. Wendy, please stop getting hurt. Don't die. That's all I ever asked of her. I broke my promise. She didn't mention a word of my injuries. But her nonchalant act seemed to cover something else. Billy's not getting a divorce. He was just using you to get back at his wife. He doesn't love you. I barely finished speaking when she kicked the door hard. I love him, and I want to. Alex, you don't think if I break up with him we'd get back together, do you? Don't even consider it. You know your place. Just make Billy's suit as usual. We parted on bad terms. It wasn't until I got a beneficiary notification that I realized Wendy had left my name. She'd made a bet with Billy's wife, agreeing to race on the mountain roads. A rookie versus a pro, risking life for a guy. She's insane in love to gamble everything. After finding out, I called the cops and rushed to the scene. As rain poured, I pleaded with any higher power not to let Wendy get hurt. If anything were to happen, take me instead. Around a bend, the sound of a motorcycle crashing filled my ears. My heart dropped. It was Wendy, her bike, the mountain's edge. Without thinking, I lunged forward, using my body as a shield, holding Wendy tight as we tumbled onto sharp rocks. Sliding for who knows how far, finally getting thrown into a rock, pain searing my back. Through the rain-soaked blur, all I saw was Wendy holding on to Billy. Billy. With the ambulance's arrival, my eyes shut. Wendy, as long as you're alive. I woke to a white ceiling, at first thinking it was a dream. But Wendy's voice was there, calling the doctors. He's awake. Alex is awake. It hit me that I'd been out for a month. From her, I learned she only had a sprained ankle, thanks to me shielding her from sharp rocks. Billy wasn't hurt either. Wendy clung to him the whole time. But Billy's wife broke a leg. Billy stayed by her side the entire month. Wanting to talk, but not cross Wendy's boundaries, I held back. Surprisingly, she spoke first. I sold the motorcycle. I never really liked bikes. I'm done with dangerous stuff. I nodded, she continued. I broke up with Billy. He needs to figure out his feelings about his wife. The heartbreak in her eyes made me see a different Wendy, vulnerable, heartbroken. Playing the underdog in love, we were both the same. As the nurse prepped to change the dressing, Wendy helped me sit up, lifting my shirt before I could react. You've been out for a month, your girlfriend took care of you, and now you're shy? I lowered my head. The pain tugged at my scars, leaving me no choice but to lean into her embrace. But it was Mom who appeared after the nurse left. I wondered how much she'd seen. She seemed used to the scene, relieved too. Seeing you with Wendy, I'm at ease. She looked more worn out. Fighting cancer took her hair. She shaved it instead of a wig. I couldn't help it. I cried with her there. Or maybe it was the scars hurting too much. Wendy herself had shaved my head after all. Wendy's a great kid. I've known you've liked her since freshman year of high school. You worked so hard to get into college for her. You've been together for so many years. Yet you never brought Wendy to see me. But she did sneak in to visit several times, covering quite a bit of the medical bills herself. Mom sat by the bed, talking nonstop as she looked at Wendy, waiting outside the ward. In the end, the International Wedding Dress Design Competition, it's your dream, and mine too. Alex, it's the one thing I can't let go of. I understood Mom's intention. Before Mom got married, she always wanted to design the most beautiful wedding dress. As soon as that dream started to bloom, I was busy making market-friendly designs to trade for paycheck after paycheck, calling them products. Mom, let's design together, create our wedding dress. Those days designing dresses with Mom in the hospital were my last happy moments. Facing a dying person, even a playboy would be humbled. Alex, if you need, I can throw you a wedding. It's just going through the motions, right? Your mom designed that wedding dress for you. She probably wants to see your future wife wear it at least once. Besides, you saved my life. I owe you. I admit it. My desire wasn't just about Mom. It was personal too. Maybe we could go back to how things were, like when we were in love. Let everything be calm. Let everything be habitual. Quickly. Immediately. This wedding only had 6 people. The officiant, me, Wendy, Mom, and 2 people playing the role of Wendy's parents. But it was enough. In the dressing room, Wendy wore the dress Mom personally designed. It was embroidered with gardenias as a blessing for our love. Looking at Wendy in the same clothes, happiness seemed within reach for a moment. I do. What did you say? I snapped out of my daydream at Wendy's distant gaze. But just before stepping into the wedding aisle, the winners of the International Wedding Dress Design Competition were announced early. I didn't receive any award or email. It's all right. Keep trying next time. Your mom will definitely live to see you win. She started to soften, becoming my greatest hope and comfort as I was about to marry her. But when I opened the winners list, the first prize design was all my work. The winner was Billy. Wendy, don't you have something to explain? You personally sent my entry to the French competition. Billy had sought Wendy out before, but time and again, she'd deliberately keep her distance outside the hospital room. She'd said herself she wanted to marry me and told Billy not to bother her. I believed her. I don't know, Alex. It felt like getting stabbed repeatedly in the chest. My tears were hot, and I lost my cool, slapping her. You don't know? You knew this design was my mom's work. One she labored over even while vomiting and dazed. It's what I've revised countless times despite my aching back and arms. It was my dream and my mom's dying wish. You know there's only 3 months left for her. Wendy, I know you love him, but what about me? I've been by your side for 7 years. Do I not even deserve a bit of sympathy or pity as a friend? Have you two been fooling around again? How could I not know Wendy? How could I keep having delusions about her? That identical face was masking 2 completely different people underneath. Maybe because my reaction was so intense, there was a gentle knock on the dressing room door. Alex, I think Wendy's parents are a bit anxious. That big boss is busy with business. Don't delay him. Mom's voice was urgent, and I instantly calmed down. The important thing now was to complete the wedding ceremony with Wendy. Looking at my reflection, makeup smeared from crying, I had never looked so defeated. After touching up, I linked arms with Wendy to enter. The officiant solemnly read the vows. For richer or poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish. I was full of sarcasm. As Wendy tightly held my hand, she resolutely answered, I do. Wendy, if you marry him, we're done. Billy stood at the door holding a red divorce certificate. I'm divorced. I talked to my dad. I'm gonna marry you. I got this way from my ex-wife before we got the divorce. If you marry someone else now, what am I? He walked closer, took off his sunglasses, revealing his bruised face. Wendy instantly felt concerned. You go first. I'll explain later. Ignoring her, he approached my mom, pointing at me. Did you know your son is the third wheel? How did you raise him? We were dating and then he stepped in to marry her. I pushed him away, unsure how to explain to Mom. You didn't get a divorce before messing with my son's girlfriend. One was cheating, the other a third wheel. This wedding, my son isn't having it. Billy was speechless, and Wendy frantically tried to explain. Auntie, it's not that. I'm marrying Alex. It's all a misunderstanding. Billy yelled Wendy's name. Silence. I'm giving you one last chance. Marry him or go home with me to see my dad. His eyes were teary, looking pitiful. Wendy was silent. When he turned away with tears, Wendy unhesitatingly chased after him. "Miss Wendy, we haven't settled our acting salary yet." It was all clear. When Mom finally collapsed, she wiped my tears. "Alex, it's all right not to win or get married." In Mom's tough 36-hour stint from ICU to the rescue room, Wendy was by my side, helping tirelessly. I considered it her guilt, and I was at peace with it. "Here's the money. Enough for your mom's treatment. The rest, use it however you want. No need to stir things up." I took that $500,000 card without hesitation. I knew what she meant. When Billy's plagiarism complaint only got me a dismissal notice, I realized the underdog stands no chance. And despite my best efforts to create a sensation at the international design competition, the media quickly spun it. Thief crying thief? Who's Alex again? Never heard of that in an international event. Are you crazy thinking you can blow up like that? Billy was already a famous designer when we graduated. Copy him? Get lost. Show me some proof. Are you questioning the competition itself? Don't even get involved. What other terms? I looked at her with cold eyes, feeling no attachment at all. It's like, at this moment, with the crushing hurt and numbness, I finally accepted that the person I loved is long gone. From now on, we're just strangers. I don't want any more misunderstandings. I agreed. Right in front of her, I deleted all her contact info. She froze, shocked. She took forever to walk those 10 steps to the door and finally left. Since that time, we've lost touch. Fast forward to now. Running into each other again. I've become her sister's fiancé. At dinner, Wendy totally ignored Violet's gesture to sit next to her and sat down right by me. She grabbed the menu and ordered all my favorite dishes, including that glazed grilled pineapple. "Violet, Alex doesn't eat fish," Wendy said. Violet glanced at what Wendy ordered and just added a sweet and sour fish. I looked at the foods both of them put in my bowl and took a bite of fish. I've always liked fish. I just didn't eat it before because Wendy's allergic to it. Wendy picked up her wine glass and downed it in one go. "What about that scar on your arm?" she asked. Violet rolled up my left sleeve, looking concerned at the brown scar. "That was from a fight in college, when someone tried to pull me away and accidentally bumped me into the corner of a cabinet." Wendy smiled slightly, listing my scars. "There's one on your back too. A red mark from blocking a baseball bat. And that stitching scar from when you hit a rock." Violet looked annoyed. "So, Alex, you've been hurt so many times because of Wendy?" Wendy tried to speak, her throat dry and raspy. She kept putting food on my plate but didn't eat it all, just kept drinking. Throughout the meal, I was on edge, afraid Wendy would expose our messy past, causing Violet to rethink the wedding. As the night wound down and it was ending, Wendy's face was flushed from the alcohol. Despite that, she blurted out, "Violet, Alex and I had a thing. We were really intimate." My chopsticks fell, the silence broken only by the sound of them hitting the floor. I could only look at Billy, who was calmly and kindly handing me a new pair of chopsticks. "I know. You don't care?" Billy asked. "You're really gonna marry the guy who slept with your sister?" Wendy continued, "He's only marrying you to keep his mom happy. Only because you have the same face as me." Wendy's boldness highlighted Violet's calmness. "I'm marrying Alex," Violet stated. "For the past 7 years abroad getting treatment, this is all I've thought about." Her determined expression matched that of the day we reunited. That day, I staggered out of ICU, my head spinning with the $5 million Wendy gave me, and saw Violet. At that moment, I thought I'd died. Maybe I had fallen down the stairs and died if I was seeing someone who's been gone for 7 years. But she just hugged me tight. Her familiar scent of gardenia was calming, a reminder of life. I pushed her away, impulsively slapped her. Only when I tasted salt did I realize my face was soaked with tears. "I'm sorry, Alex. I'm sorry I came back too late. Sorry I left without a word." She kept apologizing. Feeling her heart beating was real. All night, she spilled stories of her relapse, the 7 years of treatment abroad, brushing close to death's door each time. "I always thought about coming back to apologize to you, Alex," she said. With the dawn light flooding the hallway, she said, "Let's get married, Alex." I nodded. Wendy, hearing Violet's firm answer, repeatedly said, I don't agree. I don't agree with you and Alex getting married. I've let you go many times because of my illness, Wendy. You didn't cherish it, Violet countered, calling a driver to take Wendy home. Wendy allowed herself to get too drunk, so she couldn't take her love home. Violet held my hand, walking past Wendy. Wendy grabbed my wrist desperately. For once, she pleaded. But I broke free. Wendy began showing up around me a lot. Never one to cook, she was making me lunchboxes even with fish, her allergen. When I got hassled by a customer, she patiently smoothed things over. No trace of the spoiled demeanor left. She visited the hospital to see my mom, and even when Violet and Wendy's mom shut her out, she just smiled kindly. What's your deal, Wendy? I finally asked. You're talking to me again? Her eyes lit up. I don't want you marrying Violet because I realized I love you. You also love me. Why not give us another shot? Don't marry my sister as some sort of substitute. Her words puzzled me. She didn't understand that I met Violet before her. Back in high school, there was a speech by outstanding graduates, and I was at the end of the class ranking. Seeing Violet on stage, that was my first real crush. In those 3 years, I did everything to get into her college. In exhaustion, disappointment, and breakdowns, she believed and hoped for the day when I'd stand by her. On the day I received my acceptance letter, she, busy with her senior year and grad school prep, still came back late that night. Stones tapped my window, and as I opened it, her flashlight traced the word together through the paper onto my wall. I was incredibly lucky. The person I liked me back. That's how my first love started, in that fiery summer. 100 days, walking hand in hand down streets, kissing beneath the blooming orange trumpet vines. I truly believed we'd walk from school uniforms to wedding gowns together. But after school started, I searched the entire university, lecture halls, library, and even barged into the girls' dorm, but Violet was nowhere to be found. She just vanished. She left me with no message, only a phone number that was no longer in service. I waited for a long time. All I got was her roommate throwing all her belongings into the trash, including the jasmine pattern blanket I had knitted for her. She wasn't coming back. Not a word was left for me. That night I got drunk, and I saw her in a vision or a dream. I missed her so much. I begged her not to leave. When I woke up, I saw a family photo of 4 on my nightstand, and that's when I met Wendy for the first time. I pointed to the person in the picture who looked exactly like her. Why does everyone mention her in front of me? She had died of a terminal illness. How could I live without her? She should have been gone long ago. That's the only answer I got. And the only reason I decided to stay with Wendy. Wendy bitterly smiled after hearing it all. Yeah, I forgot my sister said you were her high school sweetheart 10 years ago. No wonder your mom once said you've liked me since sophomore year. So I was just a stand-in, huh? She slammed her hand against the wall, leaving bloody marks, but I felt nothing inside. A few days later, Wendy showed up again. This time for what? Unwillingness? I couldn't drive her away, but she always seemed so confident. 3-month puppy love, and we've been together for 7 years. The facts don't lie. Alex, you love me more. What's wrong with being a stand-in? 7 years, many things have changed. Even if Violet comes back now, you both aren't who you were 7 years ago. Nervousness stirred in my heart, but I faked a nonchalant smile. Today, I had an appointment with Violet for a bridal gown fitting. I picked a simple style from the Jasmine collection for her. It was my favorite too. Wendy sat on the couch outside the fitting room and said as soon as she saw me, "That's not the dress she wanted. You don't really know her." She was still acting like she'd been the one by my side for 7 years. But you also know why she can't wear it, right? Because the dress was co-designed with my mom and signed under Billy's name. She couldn't wear it anymore. As soon as I spoke, she lowered her head, guilt-ridden. Wendy was nowhere to be seen for several days after that. And suddenly, Billy barged in, furious, storming into the bridal shop, splashing paint around like a madman, tearing down dresses, ripping them apart. I knew Wendy broke up with me because of you. I just knew. When he reached to slap me, I caught his hand and gave him a hard slap back. This is for stealing my designs. Another slap. This is for making my mom collapse. One more slap. This is for wrecking my bridal shop. Restrained by the staff, he could only thrash helplessly. Sitting weakly on the floor, covering his face, shrieking loudly. You thought I would always be your subordinate in the company? I had the staff save the security footage, then called the cops, notifying Wendy as well. She rushed over straight to me. Her worried expression wasn't meant for me. Did he hurt you, Alex? Are you okay? Billy, looking pitiful, tugged Wendy's hand. I'm the one who's hurt. Took 3 slaps. Wendy glanced at him coldly. Since you're here, apologize to Alex. It's your last chance. Billy stood stubborn, refusing to give in. No way. Are you sure you want me to reveal the international wedding dress competition's entry was plagiarized from Alex? At that point, nobody, not even your dad, could save you. Wendy was adamant, without a trace of her once obsessive love for him. Why are you doing this to me, Wendy? Clinging on to the last bit of love. You publish it and you'll lose me entirely. The scenario felt eerily familiar. Last time, Wendy resolutely chose him. This time, she exposed Billy's plagiarism without a second thought. Suddenly, it was all over the news, full of outrage. Get lost. Thieves are insufferable. He plagiarized my graduation project in college, and now he's doing it again, thinking he can just coast by as a rich kid? Not only stealing designs, but he also took someone's girlfriend. He had a motorcycle wife he married in college, and even she had a 10-year boyfriend he disrupted. Requesting the international wedding dress competition handle this seriously. How come the on-site entry had its author's name changed? Under public pressure, the company announced Billy's exit. Meanwhile, he was sent abroad. Wendy's expression was one seeking reward, like a puppy wagging its tail. Can you forgive me now, Alex? I admit I misunderstood her before, but that doesn't mean I'm ready to forgive everything she's done. It was Wendy who informed me my mom was critically ill. Before I even knew, she shared the news with my mom that I'd won the international wedding dress competition. Mom was thrilled, happy for me. Miraculously, her health indicators were normal for a day. I started to hope she could attend my wedding, see my future kids. But then Wendy called, saying Mom's condition suddenly worsened. Alex, hearing Mom's heartbeat through the machine. I held her hand tightly by the bed. I'm here. Violet's here too. Mom, we're getting married tomorrow. Her eyes smiled, though it seemed like it took great effort. Don't marry just to marry, don't marry for my sake. Alex, I don't wish for you to marry. I wish for your happiness. Turns out, she knew long ago Wendy and I were only pretending. She also saw I really liked Wendy then. For my happiness, she tried to earn the chance for me to be with who I wanted, letting a mistake slide before passing. I can tell Wendy likes you. I can also see Violet likes you too. But now, I can't see your heart, my Alex. In the end, the machine let out a long, continuous tone. Mom's final words to me, just wishing me happiness. My wedding with Violet. It was formal and grand, just like I'd always dreamed of, with gardenias everywhere. The family invited many big names from the business world. Violet made it public to everyone that her husband's name was Alex. Wendy came into the dressing room. Alex, she said. Honestly, I've liked you for a long time, she continued. Was it when you yelled at me in the bar? Or when you went to the client for my sake? It was probably earlier, the first time I met you, when I felt like meddling. But I was worthless. I was just the spoiled, rebellious rich girl in everyone's eyes. So, I couldn't respond to your sincerity at all. I kept drifting until that night when my feelings for you spilled over. I thought we could be together forever. But the more I felt your love, the more dirty and unworthy I felt. So I found Billy. I pushed you away on purpose. But later I found out Billy was suicidal. Those bruises weren't from his ex-wife. He was hurting himself. To save him, I left you again. But then you married Violet. It drove me insane. I even hoped Violet might actually die just once. I'm still so awful. But I just wanted to try one last time. Alex, will you come with me? I looked at her, seeing the Wendy I first met. She was kind, fair, someone who loved me truly. But I just shook my head. All right, I'll go greet the guests then. Congratulations on the wedding. Before Violet came in, Wendy gave her shoulder a light pat. Congrats on the wedding. It was probably the first time she wasn't at odds with Violet. Everything for your mom's funeral has been taken care of, Violet said as she walked in. The box with my mom's ashes was in front of us, like a witness to this significant moment in our lives. That's what she left behind after standing up for me to everyone. But since last night, we've been really hesitant about our plans. Ever since she came back, we both realized we're not the same people from when we were 18. Yes, I said, my dear love, I'm about to marry you. But why do I feel so heavy-hearted and sluggish? I stared at the urn, imagining Mom's soul smiling at me. The happiness I wanted was my own. Violet, I think I can't marry you. Violet didn't seem shocked at all. Instead, she looked relieved. Okay. Last night, I knew I should have postponed or canceled the wedding, but I was scared. Scared if you figured it out, I'd lose you. I was selfish too. Sorry, Alex. I took Mom's urn and got up to leave. I ran away from the wedding. I headed north, to the beach. When Mom's ashes scattered into the sky and sea, I felt a freedom and lightness like never before. I was just me. Simply, Alex. Epilogue. At the wedding venue, Violet and Wendy ended up in a fist fight. Online, folks speculated whether it was over family inheritance or the groom. Either way, the wedding was immediately canceled. No one focused on the groom. Wendy looked at Violet, whose face was bruised from her hits. I've wanted to punch you my whole life. At least in fighting, I've beaten you, right? Violet, seeing Wendy with just a bloody lip but already having one arm dislocated, replied, we're about even. I've wanted to hit you for 7 years too. Later, Violet took over the family business and set up a fund for surgical care in hospitals. Wendy decided to study design abroad. She got into the school on her own merit. Her parents went overseas to babysit her. After winning an international wedding dress design competition, Alex's bridal gowns became globally popular. Back at the studio, Violet teased, Alex, are you really turning down my investment? I've been secretly giving you a lot of money. Violet had become more cheeky, not the mature and gentle persona beyond her years. And Wendy got serious, no longer showing signs of her former rebellious nature. My design only came second to yours. You have to give me a good reason why you won't hire me.